Hi my angels, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am still figuring out the proper angle for my YouTube videos, so I feel like I like this setup because I can sit on my carpet and be a little bit more comfortable, but then you can kind of see the clutter. Well, it's not clutter, it's just art everywhere at the place, so hopefully it's not too much on screen. I've had this video idea for like almost a year, and it's basically about the feeling of being really burnt out from being told what to do and having trouble with authority, or just being very fatigued by the failure of the systems in America. And I was thinking about filming the video last year, and I just couldn't figure out what type of format of a video. Like, was it going to be a talking video? I just didn't know. And I feel like now I have an idea of how I want to film this. The video setup that I wanted to do was a mixture of two of my series that I've done before on TikTok, which is matcha and journaling that I did in 2025. And in 2026, January is when I began beverage rituals, which is where I combine my spiritual practices with my beverage practices. I feel like I was getting affirmations from the universe because I actually came across two different TikToks from, I believe the creator is the boy Bratz, or that boy Bratz, who was talking about, you know, if you're gonna tell me that I need to do something, I'm not gonna do it. Deeply resonated with that. And then there was another video, I'll put the handle here as well, that was talking about the lifestyle of being punk or alternative, and basically living the life in contrast to conforming systems. And I feel like I've come to terms that it's okay that I don't fit into normie conformist systems. And I feel like growing up, I've always had those types of look. Like, it made me feel like I had like 3 heads. When people look at me like I had 3 heads, when I just had questions, or like I didn't understand why we operate in the way that we do. We're all socialized to think that like working so hard and working our lives away is like so important, and like this is like serving like a good purpose, meaningful work out there. But the idea, this capitalist mentality of like, you need to overwork and, you know, be the most productive every minute, every second, like, I could give a fuck. What I wanted to do was to create a space for the many people that think the same way that I do. I know I'm not alone on this. To join in on the space and kind of find comfort and possibly some tools that I use on a daily basis, or often, to kind of recharge. I think these practices will allow me to recharge and to continue to advocate and have the energy to keep up the fight. These systems are trying to condition us to be numb and to not have enough energy to advocate and fight and bring light towards the atrocious things that are going on right now. They want us to be numb. And I think an example of that is through AI, in the way that they're trying to not use the most important part, which is our brain, to have critical thinking skills, to have basic comprehension skills. They don't want us to have that. So like in spaces, I'm like, what the fuck is happening, you guys? Like, what the fuck is happening? We should not be living like this as humans. My beverage rituals that y'all have seen in my TikToks is I oftentimes speak affirmations into liquid, much that involves in the power of speaking into things and speaking intentions and really commanding your reality to adjust accordingly. So I just did my journaling ritual. So, and I just drank my matcha. So what I'm going to add today is just a way for us to have some protection. So I do have some Archangel Michael oil that I'm just going to apply to my wrists, just to call in a moment of protection and to call some connection. And I also just want to call in any spiritual guides or my ancestors. I did some affirmations to the water deity of Vietnam, so I'll probably be calling her in as well. I like to have a crystal to kind of take in the properties and meditate with it. Most universal crystals is rose quartz, so I'm just gonna have this as our universal crystal for today. And I'm gonna call in some self-love, and just as my personal practice, I'll keep the rest to myself and just meditate for a little bit, and maybe y'all can take a moment to meditate with me as well. So. Moment with meditation, I feel very grounded, and I feel kind of sleepy too, like once I close my eyes. But another thing that y'all can do, if any of y'all like to meditate while you're like in nature, so like my nature angels, having your feet on the ground, having your feet bare feet on the grass or wherever you are, to really feel the groundedness, literally and figuratively, into Mother Earth. I think that would be beautiful. After some meditation, also I love lighting different incense to call in things. So currently I am burning, she's almost done, but currently I'm burning rose incense. This incense is probably one of the best smelling incense smells I have. So I always like to smell that. Very gravitated towards like beauty, love related things, because yeah, I'm very big on self-love and being obsessed with myself, as everyone should be. Everybody should be in love with themselves. Our prompt for journaling is slowing down is our act of resistance and towards anti-capitalism. Recall times of your life, rushed certain aspects of your life. How exactly can you slow down? So if you want to go into detail of routines where you notice and recall moments where you were not present and you were just on autopilot, where in those moments can you actually slow down and allow your heart to rest a little bit. I noticed as I was journaling is that I tend to rush my night routine. Is like when I wind down from my day, sometimes I just do the skincare, I brush my teeth so then I could go to bed. But I feel like really taking advantage of, you know, incorporating the serums into my skin, incorporating glamour magic of, you know, giving affirmations of like become more protected, more abundant, more beautiful, you know, things like that. So I think really maximizing my night routine and slowing down can help me feel more grounded and more clear and aware and cognizant of my day-to-day. The thing I always love doing is actually burning a candle. So I actually was burning this red candle earlier in the week. I'm not a fire sign, but fire really like gets me going. Like I love how connected I feel. I feel like it really activates something. So maybe I do have fire, I definitely do have fire signs in some of my placements, but yeah, I feel very connected. I should have lit this earlier to set the scene, but burning red for like sensuality, love. I like to think that I'm a very sensual and loving person. So I always like to amplify that with like red and pink candles. And I always burn white candles when in doubt for constant purification and protection. So those are my go-to colors. I recently got green candles, which I'm very excited about, to attract more abundance. But yes. Oh my god, period. By the way, I'm having a vanilla Rockies matcha latte. It is wonderful. I'm like slurping this. I hope this video allows us to recharge, keep up the good fight, whatever that looks like based on your capacity. Slowing down, I feel like, is resistance against capitalist systems, because capitalist systems thrive on us being very anxious and, you know, having this like rapid heart rate type shit where racing and rushing through everything and trying to get as much as we can done in a minute, in a second. As human beings, we should not be doing that. Numbness is what systems rely on in order to keep us fatigued and compliant. These are my routines, I suppose. Keep going, stay present. Don't give up. Don't give up, guys. We are in it together. Basically, all I had to say. I will talk to you later. Please subscribe for more content. I definitely want to do more witchy content. I think that's been what I've just been doing in my personal life, so it feels very natural to do this. We'll talk to you angels later.